right, hello and welcome to another episode of Sociology and Coffee. I know it's been a long time, well, it feels like a long time for me since I made a video, but honestly, I've been focusing on filling my own cup, as the term goes. I do a lot of giving, I do a lot of teaching, I do a lot of educating, and sometimes, well, a lot of the time, that actually can weigh very heavily on your personhood, especially when you're doing things like conversations around race and things that are so central to my identity. It becomes exhausting. So your girl took a break, finished out the semester, my teaching semester, and just did nothing. And I needed that refresh and that reminder to take care of myself. So I'm gonna do a few shout outs right now. First and foremost to my girl Kay, who just did these twists for me. You can find her on Instagram. Her Instagram is at allroots1, the number 1, love. She's now located out of LA, but, hit her up for real, because I don't let anyone really touch my hair because it's important to my identity, and I just, my hair is life. And then another one, so my cup I have today is from my mom, who just knows me, knows that everything black woman, you can always give me something with a beautiful black woman on it, and that is just, it'll make me smile, make me happy. And that kind of brings me to, this is going to be a short video. I just, I was looking through Fashion Nova. We're going to talk about Fashion Nova, and I'm going to go ahead and out myself. This shirt is from Fashion Nova, y'all, okay? And so I'm not going to pretend like this is a company that I have not purchased from, haven't spent a large amount of money from them, but, they have some nice graphic t-shirts. But as I was looking and shopping on Fashion Nova, I started to notice a few things, and I think it's definitely worth putting out there because I know a lot of my friends, my family, coworkers, etc. purchase from Fashion Nova, and I'm not telling you not to go out and purchase from them. You do with your dollar whatever you want to do, but this deserves like some critical thought and some sociological understanding as to what Fashion Nova is doing. So, first and foremost, one of the things you'll notice about Fashion Nova is their style, right? So they have a very, what we call like urban, for me, I would just say like a hip hop style meaning like the graphic t-shirts, clearly the content on the shirts, y'all, like Boys in the Hood, you get Tupac, Biggie, you have all of these very like hip hop centered, street styles. And that is directly connected to Black culture, to Black American culture, to African American culture, whatever, whatever phrase and terminology you choose to use or identify. And yet, y'all, there's no dark-skinned Black models on Fashion Nova. And I was going through and I'm like, okay, let's check out these graphic t-shirts. I saw Boys in the Hood, Tupac, etc., etc. There's no Black women, like darker skinned Black women. There are women on there who, maybe some African ancestry, but it's not like, bam, wow, Black woman, dark skinned Black woman. And I have a lot of problems with that. I have a lot of problems with the profiting off of Black culture, the profiting off of, Black music without the uses of Black bodies. And for me, that's really important. That says a lot about what Fashion Nova is doing. And, directly relates to this term that we call cultural appropriation. So cultural appropriation is using, oftentimes abusing, different cultures, in this case, Black culture, things that are very central to Black culture. Hip hop is central to Black culture, y'all, period. You can relate, and jazz is central to Black culture, and blues, and there's a lot of connections throughout music to Black people, okay? A lot that people will not admit, that they do not own up to the fact that Black folks really became the central of this thing called music in the United States. But specifically, since we're talking about hip hop culture, is, you can't separate hip hop culture from Black culture. You can't do that. That is very much central. There's a lot of different eras within the hip hop culture, all of them directly related to the Black experience from that specific time. You can just listen to the lyrics. like lyrics in hip hop culture, you know, nowadays I feel like they're getting a little bit off track, a lot of bit off track. But I'm talking like 90s and before. 90s and before. Some 2000s, but 90s and before more so. And so y'all are selling hip hop t-shirts, hip hop groups, street hip hop style, jogger pants, y'all. Hip hop, street style, directly connected to Black culture. There's a lot of things that are directly connected to Black culture that are not given that sort of credit. But Fashion Nova, y'all know what you're doing. You create a huge fan base out of this style, right? There's a lot of different cultures who wear this style. You'll see Asian people rocking hip hop style. You'll see white people rocking hip hop style or street style, you know, whatever lingo you want to use. You'll see Mexican, Latinos, Chicanas rocking this type of style. And again, I will keep reiterating, it's connected to Black culture. So how can a company then profit off of this Black culture, Black music, and have no dark skin, and I'm gonna be very specific, dark skinned Black models, men or women? They have more men. They do have, I think, one or two Black men who are modeling their clothes, but specifically no Black women. And that's just really problematic to me, and that deserves some acknowledgement, some critique, some understanding of the silencing and the erasure of Black women, period. But it's specifically when it comes to Black culture, Black music, Black art, you typically hear, you know, you have all of the, you know, Tupac, Biggie, Boys in the Hood, but no Queen Latifah, no Salt and Pepper. There's no acknowledgement of the Black women who were so also very central to the creation of this specific genre of music. And so, you know, this just kind of all goes to say is just pay attention to those things, and it says a lot about the message that company is sending. They are more than willing to profit off of Black dollars, profit off of I can't even say celebration, but profit off of the marketing of Black culture and Black music, but not paying Black models to wear their clothes. And so I just have so many problems with that, but I'm gonna keep this one short. It's my first video back. I have a lot of content prepared, a lot of topics prepared that I'm hoping to go into 2021 with. And so please feel free to also give me suggestions on topics. I definitely like to make sure that I'm covering all different areas. I always kind of gravitate to the things that are personal to me, to my life, but definitely willing to explore and give folks the opportunity to hear my perspective on different topics. So cheers, everybody.